Have you ever been told to be honest? Or maybe be yourself? Just take a moment to think about how completely ridiculous this command is. Are you sincere if you try to be? Or are you just a very smart actor playing the part of a sincere person? If I have to try to be natural, doesn't that mean I'm being fake? This right here is the main problem for the good person. It is the great double bind that our social world has put on us, and the good person is the one who has fallen for it the most. They are the best student in a school that teaches something that is impossible to learn. And that's why they are always, at their core, stuck. You see, as soon as we can understand language, we start playing a game. There are a lot of names for the game. We can call it culture, civilization, morality, or being a good person. But the basic idea behind this game is a terrible one. The idea is that you, as you are, aren't enough. The living thing that you are, this bundle of energy that is spontaneous, wiggly, hungry, scared, happy, and chaotic, is a problem. It is raw, animal, selfish, antisocial. In short, it is not good enough. We are taught that we need to be fixed and improved. A split happens right away. A civil war breaks out inside our own skin. I is there, the part of you that knows the rules of the game, the respectable citizen, the rational mind, and the ego. And then there's me, the huge, uncontrollable, and mysterious universe of feelings, desires, instincts, and things that happen on their own. The good person is the one who has chosen I over me. Their whole life is now a project of self-control. I must keep me in check. I must control, tame, and defeat me. And this is what you see, a state of complete, long-term, internal conflict. And how can you get around? How can you go with the flow when you are always fighting with yourself? You can't move. You can't move. The good person is trying to force themselves to be good. They are trying to be selfless. But what does it mean to be unselfish? Isn't it a state of being where you know that everything is connected? Isn't it a natural thing to do out of kindness? The person who is trying to be unselfish is doing so because they feel selfish. The work itself is the problem. They are pretending to be unselfish to hide the fact that they feel inadequate about their own selfish feelings from themselves and others. They are trapped in a lie, and it takes a lot of energy to keep a lie going. This is why the good person is so often tired. They are worn out from the constant effort of their own performance. They have to be on all the time. But the real tragedy is that they are chasing the wrong thing. This perfectly good, perfectly unselfish person doesn't exist. It is a spirit. It is a concept. It is a concept, like the equator, which is a line on a map but not in the ocean itself. The good person wants to be an idea, and by doing so, they are denying what is. They are denying the me, which is the life that is really happening. Life doesn't go away when you say no to it. Energy doesn't go away when it's held back. It goes below ground, it gets worse, it gets bad. And this is why, if we're being completely honest, Elon, a lot of good people have a certain smell like them, a stress, a fragility, a quiet, unspoken anger. The smell of the me that has been locked in the basement and is banging on the door. In this case, the good is just a front, and behind the mask is a deep, shaking guilt. They feel bad about who they are. They feel inadequate for having the very appetites that define them as a living organism. It's like being embarrassed to have bones. And so, the fix starts. I have to get better. I have to overcome my desires. I have to get better. But who is this I who will make things better? Is the I somehow different from the self that wants to get better? Isn't the controller a part of the feelings it wants to control? Yes, it is. The I is the feeling of not being good enough. The I is the wish to be better. The I is the me playing a new, smarter game. It's the snake trying to bite its own tail, and it goes around and around in a circle of self-improvement, which is just a fancier way of saying the same old anxiety, the same old feeling of being stuck. Feeling broken or inadequate is not a diagnosis. It is the sign. It is the friction burn that happens when you rub the ideal against the real. The good person is hurt. They are stuck because they think the rules of the social game are the same as the rules of reality. They are like someone who is in love with a picture of a woman. He takes it with him everywhere. He shines the frame. He tells everyone how beautiful she is. But he can't move. He can't hug her. He can't dance with her. He can't stay with her because he loves a picture, an ideal. The good person loves a version of themselves that is perfect, and they have to deal with it. They can't get out of it. They have given up the messy, scary, exciting, and unpredictable dance of life for the safe, predictable, and completely dead prison of being good. They are stuck in their own goodness. And this virtue, what is it? It is the statue's virtue. A statue is perfectly good. It doesn't steal. It doesn't lie. It doesn't feel lust, anger, or greed. It is completely still, very respectable, and just right, dead. In a way, the good person has confused this stillness with peace. They think this stiffness is strength. They are scared to move, because to move, to exist, is to be spontaneous. And spontaneity is, by its very nature, not something you can plan for. The me, the organism, if you let it go. Oh my goodness, what could it do? Yes, it could be kind, but it could also be angry, selfish, joyous, or silly. The I, the worried police officer, can't trust it. So the good person's life is a long list of negations. I don't do that. I shouldn't feel this way. I'm not that kind of person. They don't know who they are because they don't know who they are not. But what happens when you say no to life? What happens when you block the flow of your own energy because you're scared of the current? The river doesn't just go away. The energy goes somewhere. You can push it down here and it will pop up there. When you block the river, it makes a swamp. It stops moving. It goes bad. It starts to make all kinds of... That's interesting. Things that live in the dark. This is the shadow of the good person. This is where that strange, unacknowledged hypocrisy comes from that we all smell on the person who is too good, too holy, or too right. The selfishness that is hidden doesn't go away. It just puts on a new outfit. It comes out the side. It turns out to be martyrdom. Look at all I've given up for you. I'm so selfless. I hope you all notice. This is, of course, the most beautiful kind of I. It's the ego acting humble. It is the me dressed up like a saint. The anger that is kept inside doesn't go away. It comes out as righteous anger. It comes out as the need to fix other people. You see, the good person is often a terrible dictator. For your own good, of course, because they are so sure that they're perfect, their list of food, their picture is the truth. You see, they are stuck in their own sense of rightness, and there is no prison that is safer or bars that are harder to break, and no one is more stuck at the core than the person who thinks they are. Right. In a very strange way, the sinner, the rogue, and the scoundrel is usually much more free. He might be a terrible mess. He might be making things hard for himself and everyone else, but he doesn't usually fight with himself. For the most part, he is an integrated rascal. His I and me are both on the same side. They are criminals together. He knows he's a bad person, and he likes it a lot. But what about the good person? The one who has cut themselves in half. They can't move. They can't be bad. Their whole identity, their whole social investment is based on not being bad, and they can't really be good. Because real goodness, real compassion, real love is a happening. It is a flow. It is a realization. It's not a plan. You don't do it. You are. So they can't move. In the middle, in a constant painful state, hesitation. And all of this whole tiring, crazy game, this war between people, is based on that one, first unexamined assumption, that you are broken and not good enough. This is the game of con. I have to say again that it is the most clever and self-sustaining trap ever made. You were sold a medicine that makes the disease it says it can cure. The social game gives you the disease. It gives you an impossible standard of goodness, an ideal that is perfect, selfless, passionless, and not human. And by that measure, of course, you are found to be inadequate. You fail. You think about yourself. You feel angry. You are an issue. And then the game sells you the cure, and the cure is try harder. Control yourself. Discipline your mind. Conquer your desires. Wage the war. And the more you try, the more you bring out the me that you are trying to hide. You feel more selfish the more you think about not being selfish. The more you try to be calm, the more upset you get. So, the more you try, the more you mess up. And the more you don't succeed, the more not good enough you feel. And the more inadequate you think you are, the more you need the cure. It's a perfect closed loop, a cruel circle that keeps going. The person who has been in this circle the longest is the good person. They are the perfect prisoner who built their own cell and is proudly polishing the bars, and who is telling the other prisoners how good it is to stay inside. This is the stuckness. The effort is what makes you stuck. It's the fight. It sounds like one hand is trying to clap. It's the stress of trying to bite your own teeth. It is profoundly and comically absurd to try to lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. You can pull, and you can work hard, and you can turn red in the face and say you're making progress, and you won't be able to move at all, because the I that is pulling is not at all different from the self that is being pulled. It is all one step. So, how do we get out? How does the nervous musician have become the sound? What does the good person get unstuck? Well, here's the big joke of the universe. The way out is to stop trying to escape. The problem is like one of those amazing Chinese finger traps that are woven. You put your fingers in, and the more you pull, it holds on tighter. The trap works because you are trying to get away. The good person is pulling as hard as they can. They are trying hard to break free from their inadequate self. So, they are stuck with no way out. The only way to get out of the finger trap is to calm down, to softly, with interest, push in. You have to go into the thing that is bothering you. To get out of the good person's trap, you don't have to try harder to be good. You don't have to fight harder in the war. It is, what a wonder, to stop fighting. It is to let go. You need to face the me that you've been running from, to turn around and face this broken, selfish, inadequate part of yourself that people have told you is the problem. And what happens when you do? What do you do when you, at last, just, hey? When you stop putting labels on it, bad, wrong, sinful, not enough, and you just watch it, look at your selfishness, not as a moral failing, but only as a feeling, a pull of energy. What is it? Watch your anger, not like a crime, but just like a rising heat, a shake. Watch your fear, not as a weakness, but only as a clenching, a feeling. When you do this, when you stop judging and start looking, something very strange happens. This enemy you've been fighting shows its true face, and its real face is not your enemy. The selfishness you were so scared of, you see, it's just life energy. It is the basic, unchangeable, innocent drive of all living things. To be alive. The same energy that pushes the root through the hard ground. The same energy that turns the flower to the sun. Is it selfish for the flower to want the light? Is the root greedy because it wants the water? The fear you were trying to get over, you can see that it's just intelligence. The organism's deep, natural, and brilliant sensitivity to the world. It is the knowledge that keeps you from going over the edge. You see, everything you were told was bad about you are just part of life. They are life in its most basic, unfiltered, spontaneous, and completely innocent form. You were never lacking. The problem was with the yardstick. The organism wasn't the problem. It was the rules of the silly game you were trying to make it play that were the problem. It's kind of like teaching a cat how to play chess. And then, when the cat just wants to knock the pieces off the table and chase them, you make the cat feel bad. You tell it off. You say it's a broken, inadequate, and sinful cat because it doesn't know how to play your game. The cat is fine. It's a cat. And you are not broken. You are who you are. You are this: moving, smart, mysterious, organism and environment. You are a process. You are a real thing. You are not a problem to be solved. And when this dawned on me, really comes to mind, the work to be good, the fight, the war, it just falls away. It is not fixed. It has been dissolved. The I and the me stop arguing. You see that they were never two. The controller and the controlled are both part of the same process. The knower and the known are the same thing. And the stuckness goes away. The stuckness was the stress. The war was the cause. It was the work of the clenched fist. When you let go, the water of life just flows. This is not a moral victory. This is not a win for the I. This is not about finally becoming a good person. It is about waking up from the whole good and bad game. It is understanding that good and bad are not absolute. They are not fighting each other in a war. They are dancing partners. They are the two sides of the same coin. They are the up and down parts of the wave. They mean the same thing. They come up together. You need both of them. The good person, the person who is stuck, is the one who wants to have a wave with just a up. They want only the crest, only the light, and only the virtue. So, they are fighting everything in life, because everything in life is a vibration. It is the up and the down, the light and the dark, and the selfish and the unselfish. The person who gets this is not stuck anymore. They are dancing. When their selfishness comes up, they dance with it. When kindness comes up, they dance with it. They don't make a judgment. They don't fight it. They don't try to fix it. That's them. They make up the whole wave. And in this complete self-acceptance, there is a real goodness, not the brittle, anxious, planned, virtuous way of playing the social game, but a deep, warm, rich honesty. It is what makes a tree whole. A tree doesn't care if its branches aren't good. It doesn't care if its roots are selfish because they need water. It is just a tree in its entirety. And in that, it is perfect. It is what it is. So you see, the idea that you are broken is the biggest lie. The game is based on the feeling of not being good enough. Getting unstuck doesn't mean you win the game. To stop playing the game, it's to write down the score, the music sheet with all of its rules and shoulds, and just pay attention. Right now, listen to the music. There is nothing wrong with the you that you are. The you that you are is the whole point. It is the goal. It is the universe, showing itself as this for a short time. So, let go. Stop trying to be nice. Stop trying to fix yourself. You are not broken. You have never been hurt. You're just pretending that you are. And you can stop pretending whenever you want. You just let go of the pull, push into the trap, accept the inadequacy, and embrace the brokenness. And you realize in that very hug that what you were holding was never broken at all. It was, and still is, all of it, holy.